The airports company South Africa says it's taking decisive action after a serious security breach at OR Tambo International Airport that saw 2 training hand grenades bypass security screening and arrive in Ethiopia. The incident came to light after Ethiopian Airlines discovered the devices during baggage screening at Bole International Airport in Addis Ababa. The passenger had departed from OR Tambo, raising red flags about security lapses as South Africa's busiest airport. Acsa says it's ramped up security measures in partnership with various state and law enforcement agencies, including the State Security Agency, Police Crime Intelligence, Border Management Agency and Ekurhuleni Metro Police. Now, to talk about the importance of security and the dangers of a lapse in security at airports, we're now joined by the president of the South African Cabin Crew Association, Christopher Shabangu. Very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. How shocking was it for the Cabin Crew Association to learn that 2 training hand grenades had passed through baggage screening at OR Tambo and were only discovered in Addis Ababa?
Good evening to you, Mo, and good evening to your viewers. It is quite concerning that we have that kind of situation. I mean, this is a national key point, one of the national key points, and it is quite concerning that we would have an individual that would actually be going through, proper channels of security and have those grenades and undetected. We are concerned about it. As SACA, we are very concerned about it.
What is the South African Cabin Crew Association's role in issues of airport security?
Look, as a union, we don't have any role really, except to say that the people that are working in those aircrafts are our members. We therefore are concerned not only for our members, but as well as the passengers that are traveling on those aircrafts that we're traveling. Remember, security or Acsa is the first point of contact for passengers. They're the first ones to make sure that, security-wise, they're the ones that take care of all of the situations. And then when you get to the aircraft as a passenger, our members, which is the cabin crew, or even pilots in this matter, are the ones that do a secondary check. Before you get to an aircraft, those cabin crews would have done a security check in terms of situations like this. Is there any bombs that are planted without their knowledge? Is there anything that has happened without their knowledge? So our role basically, or our members' role really, is for them to check for such things before the passengers board. So before the passengers board the aircraft. So this actually took place at the point, first point of contact, which is security.
So in assessing this entire situation, what key failings do you see in the whole baggage screening process that enabled this breach to happen to begin with, especially concerning operations by aviation coordination services?
So it becomes important in this way. Airport company is licensed or given authority by the CA, Civil Aviation Authority, to run our airports, the national airports. So in this case, they have chosen ACL to run security. That's where the problem begins. If they have given that contracts to ACL to run our security, and I say our security, I'm talking about the country here because this is a national key point.
Yeah.
So if ACL has lapsed in what they do, that means that airport company is therefore responsible for this breach. They're the ones that are supposed to make sure that the company that they hire or employ or contract capable of dealing with things. And therefore, the airports company has to answer as to what happened to this. I know they have already said that ACL is responsible, but they are responsible. They're the ones that have been given the license to run. They're the ones that have been given a 2 million fine by CAA, correctly so, in my view. So therefore, CIA must do a proper investigation, including all those agencies that they've involved or mentioned.
So with OR Tambo being a national key point, it's expected to be a secure environment. What does this very incident now reveal about, one, the current security protocols and the systems at the airport?
So we have to understand that the international airport, the Tambo Airport, is about approximately, and this is just, I've never calculated this, but it's approximately 6 kilometers wide, the radius of the airport itself. What that then means is that we have to, or Acsa must make sure that they actually make sure that the parameters of the airport are secure. If somebody can walk through just the normal channels and they bring in 2 grenades, be it that they are darts, if somebody can walk in with 2 grenades, it simply means that we don't know that they might have been testing. We don't know that this was a dry run for them to be bringing more. So what does mean? It means that the airports company cannot blame ACL when it comes to systems of scanning baggage. I'm saying this because ACL has blamed the airports company and said the airports company has somehow prevented them from upgrading their systems. That cannot be. We cannot allow that. That cannot stand. It does not make any sense. Airports company is in charge of the airports company security, and therefore any systems that need to be running in that airport, they are the ones that are responsible to make sure that we have top of the range airport systems in terms of scanning. One, the country like South Africa does not have to be lagging behind when it comes to South Africa, so they have to answer to that. Two, if you have all the 6 kilometers, approximately 6 kilometers of radius of the airport, it means that the airports company must make sure that in every entry point of that airport, security is tight, whether it is from the catering point of entry, whether workers entry, because there's about 6 entries into that airport that needs to be secured, regardless of just where you go in as a passenger. There's just many more other posts that the airport company has to do. Now, lastly, on my side on the part, is that the airport company cannot pass a bug this one. They have to invest. As SACA, we are saying they must invest. They make enough money to invest in new systems of bag scanning. So even if the passenger is in transit, meaning if they come from another country and baggage has to go through the systems not inside the airport itself, it has to go through the internal systems to another aircraft without being checked individually or by a human being. It means that airports company must invest. And as SACA, we are writing a letter to Acsa to give us a rundown on that one, because it affects our members and it affects the public as a whole, as travelers. Thank you.
Okay, very well. Thank you so much. Thanks for speaking to us. We're going to have to leave it there. Speaking there to the president of the South African Cabin Crew Association, Christopher Shabangu.